you just let me know, I give you a code. That code will expire because, you know, if I say I just share it with you, anyone then can share with others, then there's no point of others paying to join the class, and yet you paid to join the class. But as for the document, it will be shared only to you, it's for you. But the video will be there. After the Zoom, it will have to be recorded, they have to edit it a little bit, then the website designer will put it on the website. So whenever anyone you want to watch, you just let me know. I give you a code.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, I just, Dan, are you recording? Okay. So do we start with the cooking or you want to share your tips first? All right, ladies, so we are going to work like this. My husband is on the side. He is going to start with some tips. We will be working together. He speaks a little, then he gives over to me, then we do one recipe while it's cooking, then we give over to him again just for us to save time. So for now, I give over to him to start with you just for a few minutes, then he gives over to me also.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm
Good
DVK. I love to work behind the scene in Docker's Vegan Kitchen. I'm a medical missionary, what you call it, a professional naturopath. I work with health and nutrition, and health is my, what can I say? That's my domain. I'm also a missionary by profession. So I would like to share with you with some few health tips about cooking. As I was preparing this, I just found some few paragraphs which are interesting in the book Back to Eden. Those who have the book or who have heard about the book, it's in page 815. Says food must be prepared properly to be easily digested and thoroughly assimilated. So it's not just about the eating or just about the cooking. So the food must be also right, but right food must be cooked in the right way. Our physical well-being depends on this, on what? On food that is prepared, well prepared, so that in the assimilation and the digestion of food, that's where we get our health. It continued to say, considering cooking's importance to health, we do not give it the attention it deserves. A thorough knowledge of healthful cooking is just as essential to health as is eating good food. So it's not just about cooking good food, but it's also about cooking it right. Successful cooking and baking depends largely upon the using of best quality of food. But even the best food is often damaged during preparation. When food is not prepared in a wholesome, appetizing manner, it is more difficult for it to make good pure blood that is necessary to build up wasted tissues. For health's sake, food must be prepared in a simple manner and be free from grease. 90% of all human ills originate in the stomach and are caused from overeating, wrong combination of food, or unwholesome, unnatural food. Remember, properly cooked food is always much easier for the body to digest. So it is important for us to cook the food right. Even good food that we can say, no, this is a very good food I'm eating, but if it's wrongly cooked, then you do not get exactly what you need or what you expected that to be. So the food that we eat is what builds our tissues. The blood that it's also, because in order for us to have good tissues that are restored, because you know tissues wears out, cells wears out, organs they wear out, they need to be replaced accordingly. Daily cells dies, cells are replenished, because cells, they are the ones that build up our tissues. So they need proper nutrition that comes from properly good food that are properly prepared. So for us to have all what the necessary thing that we need, these are the methods that we need to use in cooking. This book is telling us all food should be prepared in one of the following ways: boiled, steamed, simmered, stewed, braised, roasted, broiled, or baked. Do not eat fried food. They are indigestible and harmful to the digestive system. So fried food such as chips, for example, you know, we do love eating fried, like chips, for example. Most food that are cooked in in restaurant, for example, they are mostly fried. If you will see, even we can even get a vegetarian food, but not thoroughly cooked. I tell you from experience, because I work in a restaurant before, many years ago, when I was still in South Africa. So there is no healthy food that comes from any restaurant. So home baked food are best, but when you are cooking, use boiled. You know, when you boil food, don't throw the water, because most of the nutrients, especially the water soluble vitamins, they get diluted with the water. And also it should not be too much water. As little liquid in the food that we are eating, the best, because when we make it difficult for the food to be digested when we eat and drink at the same time. So if we have a lot of liquid in the food that we are eating, so that dilute our saliva, and also they dilute the enzymes that are needed to be for the digestion. And steamed. So actually, for me, especially for vegetables, I think it's the best preparation method that we can use, among the best, or when it comes to cooking. So you use steaming. Steaming can also be paired with to sim or to simmer. Simmered food are also good. SIMMER, to simmer. So that is just to cook food with very low heat. You boil with a very small quantity of water, and you in very small in very low heat, so that you are simmering. So, and you know what is also called another method, which actually makes the simmer to simmer, is what is called the saute. To saute food, you are simmering with little liquid, but with a little oil. That's actually a replacement for frying, you know, for those who love to fry. is either you use it with the water that is coming out of your vegetable, and you do it very quickly. In that way, you are cooking with low heat, and your food is not, it doesn't get heated by the oil, because the liquid which is mixed with the oil is actually helping in the cooking until whatever you are sauteing becomes brownish, and that is not frying. So it's another method that we can use in order to cook. I'm sure most of you know about the stew, the stew. So it's not something that I can tell you much about. So baked and broiled or roasted. So all those things that are the methods that we need to use. And you know, there is another thing that we people love to use a lot, is that we need to be careful about, is the spices. I would like to talk a little about the spices. You know, our food must be our medicine. We must eat our food as medicine, because if we do not eat our food as medicine, we will eat medicine as our food. So that is why it's very important, when you are eating your food, you consider what you are adding. As I already said, it's not necessarily because we are cooking good food. Yes, we are eating good food, but it needs to be properly cooked. And we love spices. I'm sure people, they love spices, but there are healthy spices and unhealthy spices, such as, for example, pepper. Pepper, actually, even the healthy pepper that we call cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is a healthy pepper that I will not, I cannot deny that. But it's good as a medicine, but it's not good as a spice that we must add in order to eat like daily food. No, it's good as medicine. It's a very good medicine when it comes to high blood pressure. It actually among the food that brings up the blood pressure when it's low, and bring it down when it's high. So it's good when we use it as a medicine. So beside that, we have garlic. That is also another very important spice that is used, that is best to use, and is best, actually, spices are best to put them at the end of when your food is well cooked, then you add your spices, because they also have virtues. Like I've already named the virtue of cayenne pepper. Actually, cayenne pepper improves this different, the way it is different with other kind of pepper, red pepper and black pepper, white pepper, or whatever other peppers. That actually irritates the stomach. Cayenne pepper actually soothes the stomach and improve digestion. Not only that, it can improve your circulation, but it also improve your digestion, in order for a better absorption of the food that you are eating. Garlic is also good for high blood pressure. It clears the clots in the blood. It's a blood thinner, and it's a light diuretic as well. So, and others are like turmeric. It's a natural painkiller, like ginger as well. These are other spices that are to be used. I'm talking first about the good spices, because we need to talk about the good. Another spices, there is coriander. That is another good spices. Most of these spices, they improve your digestion. That I can name the few. So, and there are other bad spices. I've already spoken to you about different kinds of peppers that we should not even allow to be into our food. So those are the things that we must avoid. And the ways of, I will name you like some few, as I have named the peppers. Another things are these, cubes, or the soups, all those kind of soups that these things, they contain monosodium glutamate, or MSG. And they are also in different names, like vegetable protein, or all those kind of names that they add. or they just put flavoring. When there is no flavoring with a name or with an E number, so you need to watch out. So those are things that we should not have. If it's just garlic, let us use natural spices. I didn't name onions, or spring onions. They are very nice to use in whatever that we are eating, in the food that we are cooking. You remember, when we overboil them, or we overcook them, or we fry them, we destroy their virtues, because these spices, they have virtues, they have healing virtues that they heal us. Actually, myself, in my practice, I mostly use good spices. I use garlic, just garlic alone. I use garlic, I use cayenne pepper, I use coriander, I use what else again? I use a number of spices as my medicine, and I use them successfully. That heals. Moringa is also another used spices that people, they use to spice up their food. There's fenugreek. Fenugreek is another good spice that you can use for your food. It's also a natural thickener, among the egg replacers when you are using. Otherwise, I think I've spoken enough for now. I'm sure the kitchen is ready there. Yes. Okay, so I'll give you over. Maybe perhaps I'll be coming in if there's any other question. You have questions, so you can pop it in the messages, so we'll try to answer. But otherwise, I may be also talking in between the preparation of food. Have a nice cooking. May God bless you. Thank you.
Okay, so we're starting with the breakfast recipe. The first ingredient for breakfast is oatmeal. I just switch on the stove. Okay, it's oatmeal pancakes. These pancakes are very simple to make, and they are very delicious, very healthy. The first ingredient, this is the main ingredients. I always say, when you are cooking, you look at the recipe. You Sorry for that. I saw my husband left, so the recording stopped. That's why I was checking. So here we need 1 cup of oatmeal. You can double the ingredient if you have a big family. Actually, me, I also have a big family. It's only that it's late and I'm cooking different things. So you put in the blender. Then 1 cup of soya milk or water. This is my own homemade soya milk that I just made this morning. You can also use water, it's okay. The other ingredient is banana. I have my mashed bananas here. About 2 ripe bananas you put. We use it as a sweetener. It also will make your pancakes very soft. Now, from here, these are the main ingredients for this recipe. If you don't want to add any other things, these are just okay. So from here, you can spice it also as you want, like you can add cinnamon inside. You can add any seeds of your choice and blend, or you can add dry raisins. You can add peanut butter. The other thing which is important you can add is pinch of salt. Just a pinch of salt, not too much. Yeah, so the fourth, in my recipe, the fourth ingredient was peanut butter, which I do not have at this moment because I wanted to make my own homemade peanut butter, but electricity went off and it just came now. I was even wondering how I was going to blend, but thank God it just came. So I'm just going to use with these three recipes, three ingredients. If I want to add, I have some seeds that I can add, but I would like to keep it simple. Here is the thing: when you want to start eating healthy, don't complicate yourself too much. Otherwise, you will end up not knowing what you are doing. And also, people, people mostly say no, vegetarian food is expensive. It's because they go for expensive things. So I love to create these simple recipes like that, like this one. So for those who are cooking with me, we have put 1 cup of oatmeal in a blender. If you don't have a blender, it's okay. You can just mix. After this, you can just mix it. Of course, the blender one will look nice. The mixture will be different, but it's all the same. And also, sometimes it's oatmeal, oatmeal absorbs a lot of water. It can happen that you see it's very thick. You can then add a little bit more water. For now, I'm not going to add anything until we blend. Yeah, so we're going to blend this one to save time. Okay, so we are going to blend. I just moved in a new house now, and my things are still ups and downs. So, when you move out, how it's like. So I'm taking my time. I'm not stressing myself too much. That's why some of the plugs in the kitchen, they are not working. So I'm going to blend it from here. And no, okay. We blend it. Now from this, we're going to cook it. Yeah, as we were learning about frying. But now what I do here is you can also make it, especially if you have a non-stick pan, you can make it without any oil. So what I mostly do is I put just little oil, I brush it, then but I cook it with the heat, because pancakes, they don't need too much oil or frying it in the oil too much. They just need you to cook them in the pan very well. You can even bake pancakes. So we are going to switch on the stove. start baking. Okay, so once you blend, you're gonna heat up the pan. It must not be too hot. Now, this is one thing you should know about pancakes. How I cook my pancakes. The pan must not be the fire. It must not be too hot. Otherwise, your pancakes are going to burn before they start cooking. So you control the fire. Sorry, my stove is in mess. I didn't get time to clean. I was cooking. I was boiling my millet. It was flipping over. That's why it looks like this. So my heat is medium. Actually, I would like it to go a little low, but my gas stove doesn't allow me to do that. So unfortunately, it doesn't allow me. This is the lowest my gas stove can go. But with electrical stove, you can even go as low as 1 or 2, depending on your stove, to allow the pancakes to cook well. So I use a brush. You just brush to avoid your pancakes from sticking. Then I'm going to put now the mixture. To have 1 pancake, I think you put 3 tablespoons of the mixture. Then with the spoon, you try to give it a nice shape, nice round shape of a pancake. Just remember what I say. The heat must not be too hot. I don't trust my stove that much because this lowest is not satisfying to me. Whenever I'm making pancakes, sometimes it deceives me. So I want to be very careful to make sure that it is not burning. So let it cook. I'm coming. Cooking, I just want to make sure it's not going to burn down before it's cooked well. So you get a spatula. It's not yet cooked well. So you can also put some more oil on the sides just to make sure it doesn't stick. And I want to let you know that sometimes it happens in the kitchen. You can make a mistake. You can try like this and you see it doesn't go well. It's not you alone. All of us, it happens. Sometimes even this pancake, there are days you make it and it looks very nice, comes out nice. There are days you make it and it comes out just, it breaks and it doesn't come out well. Even the tofu, I get sometimes people say, I tried, but it didn't work. Yeah, this one is sticking down. And so that's pancake for you. I think it hasn't cooked well. That's why I say I do not trust my pen. I do not trust my stove. The medium heat that I have is not satisfying to me, because as for me, I would put it even a little lower. So you let it cook. After you just let it cook for 2 minutes, then you flip 2 to 3 minutes. You flip it over on the other side. And the other mistake that you might make that might affect your pancakes is that if the pan is not too hot, it will stick down. Too much oil doesn't really help. You can put too much oil, but the food with too much oil is not good food to eat. So you just need to brush your pan. Then you put your mixture. And the other thing is, the mixture might be too thick. If you see that it's too thick, you can add some more liquid. So I want to put the pancakes aside first. Sometimes I remove it like this so it can cook with the heat from the pan. Instead of it being on the stove, it's going to start there. There's someone who could not join us, and she said she doesn't have Zoom. I don't know if it is possible to call her on WhatsApp. Where is my phone? Okay, so I just, as I said, the pancake is aside. I want it to cook with the heat of the pan to avoid burning. So now we go to our next ingredient, which is tofu. Let me switch off the heat. Tofu scrambled with yeah. Here I have my tofu. This is a homemade tofu. I just made a piece this morning to use for this ingredient. It doesn't matter what kind of tofu you are using. You can use hard tofu, soft tofu. It's fine. All you do is you scramble it piece by piece, small pieces. Tofu is very nice. Most people who eat meat, they talk bad about tofu. They say it's not nice, not tasty. But to be honest with you, you just need to know how to cook it. That's all. And there are many different recipes on how to cook a nice tofu. So need a block of tofu. Here you're gonna spice it very nice. This is like for scrambled egg, if you used to like eggs. And now you give it up and you are now struggling. You know, there comes a time when you miss those food that you used to eat. So you go for tofu. Just give me a moment. I want to check the ingredients on WhatsApp. All the ingredients. Okay, for the tofu, we need 1 block of tofu, 2 tablespoons of oil, 2 cloves of garlic. Okay, come here, my son. Okay, so let's start. Sorry, I was just checking the ingredients so I can be sure. I want it on the stove again. All right, come this way. Okay, so now here we have my pot. I'm putting about 2 tablespoons of. I don't like to heat my oil, as we're learning about frying, which is not good. So even though I use little oil, I like to avoid to heat it because this pot gets hot very quickly. So you put some onions and okay, let me just finish this. I will explain to you something. This is green peppers, some chopped onions, some green peppers. This is celery that I will add more later. Okay, so I'm putting it back on the stove. I just removed it so that it doesn't burn. And straight away, I'm adding my tofu. This is some garlic that I'm also adding. Some garlic. So here we've added the tofu, or tomato, onion, green pepper, some celery, and some garlic, and some oil. Oil, you just don't need too much oil. Okay. So this tofu is already cooked. You don't have to cook it for. Tofu is it's soy milk, which is already cooked, because you can drink your soy milk as it is. So when you are cooking it, you don't need to overcook it. To the scrambled tofu, I'm adding some fresh tomatoes, not too much. That's you. It's optional. If you don't want to add, it's okay. Then I'm going to add the spices, as we were learning about natural spices. So here I've got my spices. These ones are always in my kitchen, and sometimes what I do is I grind the seeds. These are mostly the seeds. I buy seeds myself, then I roast it a bit, then I grind it. It tastes very nice. You can try that too. So here we have cumin seeds. This is coriander seeds, and here we have no, this is not spinach. This is spinach seeds, and we have some paprika and turmeric. So to this recipe, turmeric gives you that nice yellow color of the egg-like. So we're gonna add just a little bit of turmeric. As you can see the color is changed, and some little bit of paprika. And then salt. About half a teaspoon of salt. Then you stir well, keep stirring. My stove, the medium heat of my stove is not as low as I would prefer it to be, and it really does not please me, because sometimes it burns my food. when I'm cooking on top, it burns my food. And I'm just adding a little bit of water, about a tablespoon of water, because I am using a hard, it's very soft, it looks like egg-like, then you don't need to add any liquid. But this one is hard. Now the other ingredients, this one I didn't mention it. I just want to show it to you. This is nutritional yeast. I'm sure many of you know this. It gives your vegan food that nice cheesy taste. So especially for beginners, people who are beginning, this, if you feel like your food is not tasting nice as it should taste, you just look for this nutritional yeast. You can get it in any health shop. Then when you are cooking, it can go in sweet, it's mostly used in cheese. There's someone requesting for WhatsApp video. I don't know how we can connect her on WhatsApp. Yeah, I was saying, this is mostly used in cheese. Vegan cheese, it's what gives vegan cheese that nice taste. But it's also used in savory dishes such as tofu, even on your popcorns, when you make your homemade popcorn, then you sprinkle nutritional yeast, it also tastes very nice. So having it in the house can be a blessing for you. Me, I can eat my tofu without adding it. So I just want to show you that you can also add this. But if you don't have it, just with the ingredients which are here, it is fine. So I'm going to add there about just a little amount, a teaspoon of nutritional yeast. Just a teaspoon. It's enough. You don't have to add it too much. No, it's actually expensive, so no one has money to be using it like that. You just add a teaspoon or a tablespoon, depending on how much your food is. It gives your food a very nice taste, like, yeah. So with this now, I'm going to add some fennel seeds. You can add powder or seeds. I plan to have the powder and some coriander seeds, just few seeds. And here, these seeds, as my husband was explaining, most of them are medicine. Most of these natural things, they are medicine. So you eat your medicine. Your food should be your medicine. So I'm also adding human seeds to this. So it's going to be with the nutritional yeast flavor, and this, it's going to give it such a nice, very nice flavor. And when you eat, you enjoy your food. People think when you are vegan, you don't enjoy your food, your food is not tasty, tofu is not tasty. No, it all depends on how you cook. Just with this simple way that I've cooked, it tastes nice. There are people who go further to put more of the ingredients, which are like more of the spices, like soy sauce. I don't use soy sauce and many other spices in the shops. I only use these natural ones. And it tastes very nice. It tastes very nice. So only I want to add a little bit more of salt. Just adding some more salt to this one. So what I did, I switched off when I was heading the recipes, I switched off my stove because this is the lowest it can go, and sometimes it's really burns my food, which doesn't please me. I think I should use a smaller one. Good. So I switched it off to avoid my food burning. So I just want to put it on. My spices, you can see, especially the seeds, I added them at the end. They don't have to cook too much. They don't have to cook too much, otherwise all the nutrients which are in are going to be destroyed. So I'm back here to my pancake. So when you want to turn it over, you need to be very careful. Here it is. And I want to sprinkle some more oil just for it. To brush with the brush down here. And you press it a little bit. Okay, so now here is the tofu. Now it's done for me. And I'm putting the pancake. Come. So this is the scrambled tofu that we made. Okay, please, can you move here? I'm working. Move here. I have my kids who are coming, checking what I'm doing. I think they are just distracting me. Okay, so here is the scrambled tofu. I don't know if you can see well.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, okay, I'll put it aside. So now the next thing, the pancake, I returned the pancake on the stove, it's cooking. There's someone on WhatsApp who want to join us. I just don't know how do we connect. I sent you her number. Okay. Just a moment so that the one on WhatsApp can be connected also. Okay, sorry for that. I was sending the number to my husband for the one on WhatsApp so she can participate also. Okay, come this side. The recipe is tofu, scrambled tofu, and avocado toast. So you need your piece of homemade bread or your bread that you bought. Just a moment, I'm looking for a knife. My daughter took my knife here, then she went to. Here is my piece of homemade bread. As I say, you can use any bread. And I'm going to slice this. Now the next ingredient here was avocado. Honestly speaking, I searched for avocado since Friday because avocados are not in season. Since Friday today, I even sent my daughter, she checked in different places and she didn't see. But I just wanted you to know that this is avocado. Here, what you do is you take your avocado, you mash them, you take it out of the skin, you mash it, then you can put a bit of salt. Then first of all, you put avocado on your toast, on the bread, you put the avocado, then you add the tofu on top. I've got the ingredients well written. As I said that after this, we're going to send you the ingredient. And we are going to make a document with some of the tips we are sharing here and then put it in a document. So what I'm going to do is I'm just putting some fresh tomatoes since I did not find avocado. But if you have an avocado, please do put it inside. So in the morning you have something like this, something healthy and delicious. And this recipe, I must assure you, it is very, very delicious. It's very delicious. So you put your avocado here where I put my tomatoes. I'm putting tomatoes because I didn't find avocado. But your avocados might be in season on your side, so you can use avocado. I'm just putting avocado on your avocado. Then the next thing you do now, once you've done that, is adding your tofu, the scrambled tofu on top. As you can see, it looks very, very simple. Please lift that. This you eat in the morning, you can even put it in your lunch box when you're going to work. Your friends are going to be like, wow, what is this? Because people think when you are vegetarian, you have nothing much to eat. You just eat maybe pap and cabbage, but they don't know that there are all these other kinds of food that one can enjoy. Yeah, from here, You are free to enjoy your meals. Just a moment, I'm checking the message on WhatsApp. In our group, someone just sent. Oh, someone else who needs the WhatsApp. There's another number which needs. On top, just sprinkle some spring onions there. You can enjoy with some onions on top, some chicken mayonnaise that we're going to make, but just okay like this. You can also put some fresh onions there. So we are done with the first dish. If you go back, no, I'm just putting some onions also, some chopped onion. Okay. So this is the avocado, scrambled tofu and avocado toast. So remember I said, because I did not find avocado on my side, I did not want to cancel the recipe, but I just wanted to make it for you, just to show you that in place of fresh tomatoes and cucumber that I put, it was supposed to be avocados. So just give us a moment again, those who want to join on from WhatsApp, so we can go to the next. Recipe. Okay. Sorry for that. I'm also communicating with those who are on WhatsApp meanwhile. That's why sometimes I just go off. I switch off my mic. Okay, she's on. You can switch off the mic. Hello, sister. Hello. We have started cooking, so you can just switch off your mic and listen. As I'm talking on Zoom, you will be listening. We just finished our first recipe. We are. Hi. Can you see me? I'm saying we just finished making the first recipe. So we are going to the next one. We also made oatmeal, but we are still oatmeal. What is like a pancake? But we are still cooking the pancakes because we need to be very careful with them. So I just said, please switch off your mic. Watch, the kids will be filming for you. As I'm talking on Zoom, you will be listening. So when it will be time for a question, in case you have a question, then you can switch your mic on and talk. Okay. All right. There's someone else you need to add to the call here. The number I sent you is this one.
She's not there.
She's not online. There's also someone.
Failing.
Hmm? Yeah, I think I'm going to land. I'm going to land. Just with the world should be. With them, I do umushire. So we take a mind. Go make a question machine. Thing is, you are disturbing me. Tell him to wait. I'm working. All right. So I want to show you the pancakes. I'm just taking my time to cook my pancakes. So here it is. Here it is. So just flip on the other side. So here is my pancakes. So I will continue. So this is the first pancake that we've made. I just want to stop with the pancakes and use the and use the pen to make the other ingredients, and then we will continue later. I want at least for us to make all the ingredients possible. Now the next one, just wait for me, I will call you. You can show the tofu. Scrambled tofu. For those who just joined us, we just made scrambled tofu. That is on top that you see, the yellow one is tofu. And down, instead of our fresh tomatoes and some sliced cucumbers. Now we are going through and then there was oatmeal. Oatmeal is here, oatmeal pancake, which we made by blending 1 cup of oatmeal and 1 cup of water, which we added some more with 1 cup of soy milk. You can also use water. Then with some mashed bananas as a sweetener, and then that's all, and a pinch of salt. So I was explaining that you can add more, like if you have peanut butter, like in the recipe of today, they were supposed to be peanut butter, but I didn't have peanut butter because I didn't have electricity to make peanut butter. So electricity just came late, just on time when we were about to start class. So I just wanted to show you that you don't have to rely on some ingredients. You can always use what you have in the kitchen. You can always use what you have in the kitchen. Now we are going to the third recipe. Come this side, guys. I have my kids who are working with me, filming for me. They are happy to do it because they know what happened at the end. They are going to eat. So that is their part of work they do for me. No, you need to film well the post. Don't stand in front of the light. So I'm here. Okay. This is, I put about a tablespoon of oil. I'm going to explain the recipe as I go. Then some onions. This we are making stuffed butternut. We are making the things to stuff on the butternut. So that's why I'm starting with some onions here. Okay. Just give me a moment. I check the recipe on WhatsApp again just to make sure, because I have different recipes on the table for this different ingredients on the table. Okay, so for butternut now we baked our butternut, so we need 1 cup of red beans boiled, 1.5 cup of all millet. I'm using the red one. Millets are different colors. And then we have 1 small red pepper. I don't have red pepper, so we are going to use green one. We need onion, fresh tomato, oil, which I've already put, coriander, celery, and green pepper. Okay, oil. I got it. So now I'm adding 1 cup of red beans already boiled. You must boil your beans already. Some fresh tomatoes. This is like 1 medium tomato that I just cut. So far we put onion, 1 cup of red beans and tomatoes. Next, we're gonna put half a cup of boiled millet. I chose the red one. Millet. Millet is very nutritious. This is very nutritious. Millet and beans plus the veggies that we are adding here. And some chopped red pepper, green pepper. That's a small piece. Mina, focus here. Here's more light. Push the lamp.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm adding about half a teaspoon of salt. All these things are already cooked. So just cooking it, give it some, cook it for some 5 to just 5 minutes. That's all, even onions, they don't have to overcook because you can eat them raw. Any food that you can eat raw, when you are cooking it, don't overcook it. That's nice. Just some more salt. Here we go. Just add some more salt. Now adding my seeds, my herbs. These are cumin seeds. Just putting a little. I wanted to make powder, as I was saying earlier. Usually what I do is I roast them and grind them. Then I mix everything together. And this is fennel. So when it's seeds, I don't put that much because kids don't really enjoy it. And this is coriander seeds. And just a little bit of paprika. So far, this one is done. I don't know if there's any question, but for me, it's done. So as long as I just switched off the fire, as long as you have your beans already cooked and the millet already cooked, your butternut baked, you can take 5 minutes to make this recipe. As you see, just now, we are done. So we are going now to stuff it in the butternut. Just give me a moment to arrange a plate here for that. I want to put the butter. So these are my butternut, baked one, this one, yeah. I already baked them. What you do is you wash your butternut, squash, then you sprinkle with some oil and salt, and you bake in the oven 45 minutes, 40 to 45 minutes, sometimes even 1 hour, depending on how big it is, you know, how big it is, and also it depends with your oven, but when it is ready, you will know. So once they are baked, we are going to put now the English. Focus your camera here. So all you do is to stuff the things in, but before that, you must pull the meat a bit. This side. Yeah. Okay. So now this is our mixture that we just made. We're gonna put inside. So you can use any kind of beans. Use any kind of beans and any kind of different colors. So you can, there's white one, there's I don't know, there's also this one. So there are different color of millets. You use any one that you can afford. So the dish is very nutritious, filled with the vitamins and starch. We get starch here, and also in beans and millets, there's a lot of what we call protein. but my husband will explain later about each dish and the content as soon as we are done. So this is the dish. I believe everyone can see. So we are done with this one. If there's any question. Okay, and I just want to charge my phone because it's Zoom takes a lot of. I'm using my phone to keep charging. I'm working with my kids. Behind the camera, so you know, kids are there. Sometimes they want to talk. Okay, so far we have two. I mean, three ingredients that we have made here. Pancake, so far I've just made one because I like to give it more attention. So since we are very busy with other things, I just made one so far. And then I will continue later. When my husband will be talking, I can continue. So I'm just checking the third recipe here. We go to soya chunks. Allow me to check again the ingredients on WhatsApp before we go on with it. Okay, for stewed soya chunks stew. For the stew, we need 1 cup of soya chunks, 1 cup of white beans or red beans. I think I'll use red beans, which I have ready here. The white one, I didn't get time to boil it. Then 2 tablespoons of oil. We have 1 carrot chopped, 1 small green pepper chopped, 1 large onion and full of spring onions. Yes, we have all this green pepper, paprika, coriander, garlic, fresh tomato, thyme, and salt. Okay, please all this. I was checking the ingredients on WhatsApp. On here. You must be talking the class. Okay. So now just allow me while they are filming there to get the code for the next lesson.
Yeah, while we are waiting, I would like to talk about the dish which is already here. The stuff what?
Butternut.
Yeah, butternut. Sorry, I used to confuse butternut and pumpkin. So you see, we have beans, we have the butternut itself. So beans is rich in protein, and you know, when the added millets gives us the amino acid that the beans is lacking. So that beans, we mix them with some other grains. So we adding to the protein that so that we have a full all the full amino acids, the 20 of them that our body need, both the essential and the non-essential ones. It's the same with the stuff. It's the same with the scrambled tofu of soya that is also rich in protein. Mixing it with whole wheat homemade bread, it also does the same as I spoke about the beans and the millet into the pumpkin. So it gives us all the nutrients that we need, especially the protein. Especially when you are taking your proteins are best to be taken in the morning. Your breakfast, for your breakfast, if you take lunch and for lunch, but we avoid them as much as possible, especially hard proteins such as beans, because beans they take long to digest. So food that take long to digest, they are best to be eaten in the morning. So when they are very well cooked and well prepared, so you get as much as possible in the food that you are about to that you are about to eat. So we in the pancake, sorry, in the pancake, as you heard, we have oatmeals inside. Oats are very good. As much as they are rich in protein, they are also rich in fiber. They have plenty of fiber. You know, fiber is very good because one thing I'll tell you that fiber helps to curb or to reduce to curb the, what did I say, or to reduce the absorption rates. So then that's why it helps us when the absorption of glucose is low, so it doesn't affect our blood sugar in the blood. So when you eat your seeds, make sure that they are whole seeds. When I'm talking about whole seeds, it means a grain that has its fiber and its germ. So in the oats also, you need to find the oats that is whole, in order for you to have the enough fiber that you need. You know, even with the pumpkin, you see, when you look at the pumpkin, when you look at the the butternut. Sorry, as I say, excuse me. And when you look at our butternuts were baked with their skin. Why is this? You know, skin first, we know that is rich in fiber. And like also potatoes, when you don't peel them, bake them as they are with their skin. And then when it's just a small side of the skin that will be peeled off. You see, like here, you see it very thin layer here, which means that immediately under the skin, it's where we have all the source of all the nutrients that are needed in the butternut, or in the potato, or Irish potato or sweet potato. But when we remove the skin before we cook them. So we actually remove that layer of nutrients. We only remain with mostly starch. So that is why it's best to cook your potatoes or your butternut or pumpkin, whatever, with its skin. So you can even eat the skin. It's very good fiber rich. Because fiber is very good. Not only that to avoid constipation, but also fiber is good because they are eaten. They are food for our bacteria in the stomach. The intestinal flora is full of bacteria there. They eat on fiber. They actually, when they eat on fiber, they give us a certain chemical that helps we help our arteries to be the same chemical. So that is why make sure that you have fibers in whatever that you eat. It is good for your heart and good for your digestion. Again, for the oats soothes the digestive system. So that is, I think, for me now. So I'll speak again for the remaining recipes.
Okay, so we are making now stewed soya chunks. I'd like to, this is my pot. I'd like to add the onions, green peppers. I haven't put it on the stove, and I haven't put it on the, I haven't put oil. I'm just adding this thing, just to show you that there's no need for you to fry. Like most time you see people will first fry the vegetable, the onions and tomatoes. They fry before they can add any food they are cooking. So this is carrots that I'm I'm making. The only thing I like to add at the end is the spices. I love to add them at the end. So now I'm going to switch on the stove again. Thank you. Now I'm adding oil into this. Usually I add about one, mostly if you have checked well, 1 tablespoon of oil. Or another tablespoon, but not too much oil. And people think, of course, sorry for that. I saw my husband left, so the recording stopped. That's why I was checking. So here we need 1 cup of oatmeal. You can double the ingredient if you have a big family. Actually, me, I also have a big family. It's only that it's late and I'm cooking different things. So you put in the blender. Then 1 cup of soya milk or water. This is my own homemade soya milk that I just made this morning. You can also use water, it's okay. The other ingredient is banana. I have my mashed bananas here. About 2 ripe bananas you put. We use it as a sweetener. It also will make your pancakes very soft. Now, from here, these are the main ingredients for this recipe. If you don't want to add any other things, these are just okay. So from here, you can spice it also as you want, like you can add cinnamon inside. You can add any seeds of your choice and blend, or you can add the dry raisins. You can add peanut butter. The other thing which is important you can add is pinch of salt. Just a pinch of salt, not too much. Yeah. So the fourth in my recipe, the fourth ingredient was peanut butter, which I do not have at this moment because I wanted to make my own homemade peanut butter, but electricity went off and it just came now. I was even wondering how I was going to blend, but thank God it just came. So I'm just going to use with these 3 recipes, 3 ingredients. If I want to add, I have some seeds that I can add, but I would like to keep it simple. Here is the thing, when you want to start eating healthy, don't complicate yourself too much. Otherwise, you will end up not knowing what you are doing. And also people, people mostly say, no, vegetarian food is expensive. It's because they go for expensive things. So I love to create these simple recipes like that, like this one. So for those who are cooking with me, we have put 1 cup of oatmeal in a blender. If you don't have a blender, it's okay. You can just mix. After this, you can just mix it. Of course, the blender one will look nice. The mixture will be different, but it's all the same. And also, sometimes oatmeal, oatmeal absorbs a lot of water. It can happen that you see it's very thick. You can then add a little bit more water. For now, I'm not going to add anything until we blend. Yeah, so we're going to blend this one to save time. Okay, so we are going to blend. I just moved in a new house now, and my things are still ups and downs. So, when you move out, how it's like. So I'm taking my time. I'm not stressing myself too much. That's why some of the plugs in the kitchen, they are not working. So I'm going to blend it from here. And no, okay. We blend it. Now from this, we're going to cook it. Yeah, as we were learning about frying. But now what I do here is you can also make it, if you are, especially if you have a non-stick pan, you can make it without any oil. So I'm going to, what I mostly do is I put just little oil, I brush it, then I cook it with the heat, because pancakes, they really don't need too much oil or frying it in the oil too much. They just need you to cook them in the pan very well. You can even bake pancakes. So we are going to switch on the stove and start baking. Okay, so once you blend, you're gonna heat up the pan. It must not be too hot. Now, this is one thing you should know about pancakes. How I cook my pancakes, the pan must not be the fire. It must not be too hot. Otherwise, your pancakes are going to burn before they start cooking. So you control the fire. Sorry, my stove is in mess. I didn't get time to clean. I was cooking. I was boiling my millet. It was splitting over. That's why it looks like this. So my heat is medium. Actually, I would like it to go a little low, but my gas stove doesn't allow me to do that. So unfortunately, it doesn't allow me. This is the lowest my gas stove can go. But with electrical stove, you can even go as low as 1 or 2, depending on your stove, to allow them to allow the pancakes to cook well. So I use a brush. You just brush to avoid your pancakes from sticking. Then I'm going to put now the mixture. To have one pancake, I think you put 3 tablespoons of the mixture. Then with the spoon, you try to give it a nice shape, nice round shape of a pancake. Just remember what I say. It must the heat must not be too hot. I don't trust my stove that much because this lowest is not satisfying to me. Whenever I'm making pancakes, sometimes it deceives me. So I want to be very careful to make sure that it is not burning. So let it cook. I'm coming. Cooking, I just wanna make sure it's not going to burn down before it's cooked well. So you get a spatula. It's not yet cooked well. So you can also put some more oil on the sides, just to make sure it doesn't stick. And then I want to let you know that sometimes it happens in the kitchen. You can make a mistake. You can try like this and you see it doesn't go well. It's not you alone. All of us, it happens. Sometimes even this pancake, there are days you make it and it looks very nice, comes out nice. There are days you make it and it comes out just, it breaks and it doesn't come out well. Even the tofu, I get sometimes people say, I tried, but it didn't work. Yeah, this one is sticking down. And so that's pancake for you. I think it has been cooked well. That's why I say I do not trust my pen. I do not trust my stove. The medium heat that I have is not satisfying to me, because that's for me, I would put it even a little lower. So you let it cook, after you just let it cook for 2 minutes, then you flip 2 to 3 minutes, you flip it over on the other side. And the other mistake that you might make that might affect your pancakes is that if the pan is not too hot, it will stick down. Too much oil doesn't really help. You can put too much oil, but the food with too much oil is not good food to eat. So you just need to brush your pan. Then you put your mixture. And the other thing is, the mixture might be too thick. If you see that it's too thick, you can add some more liquid. So I want to put the pancakes aside first. Sometimes I remove it like this, so it can cook with the heat from the pan. Instead of it being on the stove, it's going to start there. There's someone who could not join us, and she said she doesn't have Zoom. I don't know if it is possible to call her on WhatsApp. Why is my phone? Okay, so as I said, the pancake is aside. I want it to cook with the heat of the pan to avoid burning. So now we go into our next ingredient, which is tofu. Let me switch off the heat. Tofu scramble with come here. Yeah, here I have my tofu. This is a homemade tofu. I just made a piece this morning to use for this ingredient. It doesn't matter what kind of tofu you are using. You can use hard tofu, soft tofu. It's fine. All you do is you scramble it piece by piece, small pieces. Tofu is very nice. Most people who eat meat, they talk bad about tofu. They say it's not nice, it's not tasty. But to be honest with you, you just need to know how to cook it. That's all. And there are many different recipes on how to cook a nice tofu. So you need a block of tofu. Here you're gonna spice it very nice. This is like for scrambled egg, if you used to like eggs. And now you give it up and you are now struggling. You know, there comes a time when you miss those food that you used to eat. So you go for tofu. Just give me a moment. I want to check the ingredients on WhatsApp. All the ingredients. Okay, for the tofu, we need 1 block of tofu, 2 tablespoons of oil, 2 cloves of garlic. Okay, come here, my son. Mhm. Okay, so let's start. Sorry, I was just checking the ingredients so I can be sure. I want it on the stove again. All right, come this way. Okay, so now here we have my pot. I'm putting about 2 tablespoons of. I don't like to heat my oil, as we're learning about frying, which is not good. So even though I use little oil, I like to avoid to heat it because this pot gets hot very quickly. So you put some onions and okay, let me just finish this. I will explain to you something. This is green peppers, some chopped onions, some green peppers. This is celery that I will add more later. Okay, so I'm putting it back on the stove. I just removed it so that it doesn't burn. And straight away, I'm adding my tofu. This is some garlic that I'm also adding. Some garlic. So here we've added the tofu, or tomato, onion, green pepper, some celery, and some garlic, and some oil. Oil, you just don't need too much oil. Okay. So this tofu is already cooked. You don't have to cook it for. Tofu it's soy milk, which is already cooked because you can drink your soy milk as it is. So when you are cooking it, you don't need to overcook it. To the scrambled tofu, I'm adding some fresh tomatoes, not too much. Just you. It's optional if you don't want to add. It's okay. Then I'm going to add the spices as we're learning about natural spices. So here I've got my spices. These ones are always in my kitchen, and sometimes what I do is I grind the seeds. These are mostly the seeds. I buy seeds myself, then I roast it a bit, then I grind it. It tastes very nice. You can try that too. So here we have cumin seeds. This is coriander seeds. And here we have, no, this is not spinach. This is spinach seeds. And we have some paprika and turmeric. So to this recipe, turmeric gives you that nice yellow color of the of egg-like. So we're gonna add just a little bit of turmeric. Yeah, you can see the color is changed, and some little bit of paprika. And then salt. About half a teaspoon of salt. Then you stir well, keep stirring. My stove, the medium heat of my stove is not as low as I would prefer it to be. And it really does not please me. Because sometimes it burns my food. When I'm cooking on low, it burns my food. And I'm just adding a little bit of water, about a tablespoon of water, because I am using a hard tofu. If you are using tofu like this Chinese tofu, which is very soft, it looks like egg-like, Then you don't need to add any liquid. But this one is hard. Now the other ingredient, this one I didn't mention it. I just want to show it to you. This is nutritional yeast. I'm sure many of you know this. It gives your vegan food that nice cheesy taste. So especially for beginners, people who are beginning, this, if you feel like your food is not tasting nice as it should taste, you just look for this nutritional yeast. You can get it in any health shop. Then when you are cooking, it can go in sweet, it's mostly used in cheese. There's someone requesting for WhatsApp video. I don't know how we can connect her on WhatsApp. Yeah, this I was saying, this is mostly used in cheese. Vegan cheese, it's what gives vegan cheese that nice taste. But it's also used in savory dishes such as tofu, even on your popcorns, when you make your homemade popcorn, then you sprinkle nutritional yeast, it also tastes very nice. So having it in the house can be a blessing for you. Me, I can eat my tofu without adding it. So I just want to show you that you can also add this. But if you don't have it, just with the ingredients which are here, it is fine. So I'm going to add there about just a little amount, a teaspoon of nutritional yeast. Just a teaspoon. It's enough. You don't have to add it too much. No, it's actually expensive, so no one has money to be using it like that. You just add a teaspoon or a tablespoon, depending on how much your food is. It gives your food a very nice taste, like, yeah. So with this now, I'm going to add some fennel seeds. You can add powder or seeds. I plan to have the powder and some coriander seeds, just few seeds. And here, these seeds, as my husband was explaining, most of them are medicine. Most of these natural things, they are medicine. So you eat your medicine. Your food should be your medicine. So I'm also adding human seeds to this. So it's going to give, with the nutritional yeast flavor and this, it's going to give it such a nice, very nice flavor. And when you eat, you enjoy your food. People think when you are vegan, you don't enjoy your food. Your food is not tasty. Tofu is not tasty. No, it all depends on how you cook. Just with this simple way that I have cooked, it tastes nice. There are people who goes further to put more of the ingredients, which are like more of the spices, like soy sauce. I don't use soy sauce and many other spices in the shops. I only use these natural ones. And it tastes very nice. It tastes very nice. So only I want to add a little bit more of salt. Just adding some more salt to this one. So what I did, I switched off when I was heading the recipes, I switched off my stove because this is the lowest it can go, and sometimes it's really burning my food, which doesn't please me. I think I should use a smaller one. So I switched it off to avoid my food burning. So I just want to switch it on. My spices, you can see, especially the seeds, I added them at the end. They don't have to cook too much. They don't have to cook too much, otherwise all the nutrients which are in I'm going to be destroyed. So I'm back here with my pancake. So when you want to turn it over, you need to be very careful. Here it is. And I want to sprinkle some more oil just for it. To brush with the brush down here. And you press it a little bit. Okay, for now, here is the tofu. And now it's done for me. And I'm cooking the pancake. Come. So this is the scrambled tofu that we made. Okay, please, can you move here? I'm working. Move here. I have my kids who are coming, checking what I'm doing. I think they are just distracting me. Okay, so here is the scrambled tofu. I don't know if you can see well.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, okay, I'll put it aside. So now the next thing, the pancake, I returned the pancake on the stove, it's cooking. There's someone on WhatsApp who want to join us. I just don't know how do we connect. I sent you her number. Okay. Just a moment so that the one on WhatsApp can be connected also. Okay, sorry for that. I was sending the number to my husband for the one on WhatsApp so she can participate also. Okay, come this side. Okay, now we are going to make a toast. Now we are going to make a toast now. This is, the recipe is tofu, scrambled tofu and avocado toast. So you need your piece of homemade bread or your bread that you bought. Just a moment, I'm looking for a knife. My daughter took my knife here, then she went to do. Here is my piece of homemade bread. As I say, you can use any bread. And I'm going to slice this. Now the next ingredient here was avocado. Honestly speaking, I searched for avocado since Friday because avocados are not in season. Since Friday today, I even sent my daughter, she checked in different places and she didn't see. But I just wanted you to know that this is avocado. Here, what you do is you take your avocado, you mash them, you take it out of the skin, you mash it, then you can put a bit of salt. Then first of all, you put avocado on your toast, on the bread, you put the avocado, then you add the tofu on top. I've got the ingredients well written. As I said that after this, we're going to send you the ingredients. And we are going to make a document with some of the tips we are sharing here and then put it in a document. So what I'm going to do is I'm just putting some fresh tomatoes since I did not find avocado. But if you have an avocado, please do put it inside. So in the morning you have something like this, something healthy and delicious. And this recipe, I must assure you, it is very, very delicious. It's very delicious. So you put your avocado here where I put my tomatoes. I'm putting tomatoes because I didn't find avocado. But your avocados might be in season on your side, so you can use avocado. I'm just sprinkling avocado on your avocado. Then the next thing you do now, once you've done that, is adding your tofu, the scrambled tofu on top. As you can see, it looks very, very simple. Please lift that. This you eat in the morning, or you can even put it in your lunch box when you're going to work. Your friends are going to be like, wow, what is this? Because you know, people think when you are a vegetarian, you have nothing much to eat. You just eat maybe pap and cabbage, but they don't know that there are all these other kinds of food that one can enjoy. Yeah, from here, you are free to enjoy your meals. Just a moment. I'm checking the message on WhatsApp. In our group, someone just sent. Oh, someone else who needs the WhatsApp. There's another number which needs. On top, just sprinkle some spring onions there. You can enjoy with some onions on top, some chicken mayonnaise that we're going to make, but just okay like this. You can also put some fresh onions there. So we are done with the first dish. If you go back, no, just put in some onions also, some chopped onion. Okay. So this is the avocado, scrambled tofu and avocado toast. So remember I said, because I did not find avocado on my side, I did not want to cancel the recipe, but I just wanted to make it for you, just to show you that in place of fresh tomatoes and cucumber that I put, it was supposed to be avocados. So just give us a moment again. There's those who want to join on from WhatsApp, so we can go to the next recipe. Okay. Sorry for that. I'm also communicating with those who are on WhatsApp. Meanwhile, that's why sometimes I just go off. I switch off my mic. Okay, she's on. You can switch off her mic. Hello, sister. Hello. We have started cooking, so you can just switch off your mic and listen. As I'm talking on Zoom, you will be listening. We just finished our first recipe. We are. Hi. Can you see me? Hello. Yes. I was saying we just finished making the first recipe. So we are going to the next one. We also made oatmeal, but we are still oatmeal. What is like a pancake? But we are still cooking the pancakes because we need to be very careful with them. So I just said, please switch off your mic and just watch. The kids will be filming for you. As I'm talking on Zoom, you will be listening. So when it will be time for a question, in case you have a question, then you can switch your mic on and talk. Okay. All right. There's someone else you need to add to the call here. The number I sent it is this one.
She's not there.
She's not online. There's also someone. Hmm? Hmm. Hmm? Yeah, I touching. I going to land. I'm going to land. Just with the world should be. With the I do umushire. So we take a mind. Go make up when machine to. Thing is, you are disturbing me. Tell him to wait. I'm working. All right. So I want to show you the pancakes. I'm just taking my time to cook my pancakes. So here it is. Here it is. So just flip on the other side. So here is my pancakes. So I will continue. So this is the first pancake that we've made. I just want to stop with the pancakes and use the and use the pen to make the other ingredients, and then we will continue later. I want at least for us to make all the ingredients possible. Now the next one, just wait for me, that will come in. You can show the tofu. Scrambled tofu. For those who just joined us, we just made scrambled tofu and avocado toast. What is on top that you see, the yellow one, is tofu. And down, instead of avocado, I did put fresh tomatoes and some sliced cucumbers. Now we are going to and then there was oatmeal. Oatmeal is here, oatmeal pancake, which we made by blending 1 cup of oatmeal and 1 cup of water, which we added some more. 1 cup of soy milk. You can also use water. Then with some mashed bananas as a sweetener, and then that's all, and a pinch of salt. So I was explaining that you can add more, like if you have peanut butter, like in the recipe of today, they were supposed to be peanut butter, but I didn't have peanut butter because I didn't have electricity to make peanut butter. So electricity just came late, just on time when we were about to start class. So I just wanted to show you that you don't have to rely on some ingredients. You can always use what you have in the kitchen. You can always use what you have in the kitchen. Now we are going to the third recipe. Come this side, guys. I have my kids. wow, working with me, filming for me. They are happy to do it because they know what happened at the end. They are going to eat. So that is their part of work they do for me. No, you need to film well the pot. Don't stand in front of the light. So I'm making, okay. This is, I put about a tablespoon of oil. I'm going to explain the recipe as I go. Then some onions. This, we are making stuffed butternut. I have already baked the butternut. So now we are making the things to stuff on the a butternut. So that's why I'm starting with some onions here. Okay. And then I'm going to put, just give me a moment. I check the recipe on WhatsApp again just to make sure, because I have different recipes on the table for different ingredients on the table. Okay, so for stuffed butternut, now we've baked our butternut, so we need 1 cup of red beans boiled, 1.5 cup of all millet. I'm using the red one. Millets are different colors. And then we have 1 small red pepper. I don't have red pepper, so we are going to use green one. We need onion, fresh tomato, oil, which I've already put, coriander, celery, and green pepper. Okay, oil. I got it. So now I'm adding 1 cup of red beans already boiled. You must boil your beans already. Some fresh tomatoes. This is like 1 medium tomato that I just cut. So far we put onion, 1 cup of red beans and tomatoes. Next, we're gonna put half a cup of boiled millet. I took the red one, millet. Millet is very nutritious. This is very nutritious. Millet and beans plus the veggies that we are adding here. And some chopped red pepper, green pepper. That's a small piece. Here. Here's more light. Okay. Okay, now I'm adding about half a teaspoon of salt. And some garlic. All these things are already cooked. So just cooking it, give it some, cook it for some 5 to just 5 minutes. That's or even onions, they don't have to overcook because You can eat them raw. Any food that you can eat raw, when you are cooking it, don't overcook it. That's nice. Just some little more salt. Here we go. Just add some more salt. Now adding my seeds, my herbs. These are cumin seeds. Just putting a little. I wanted to make powder, as I was saying earlier. Usually what I do is I roast them and grind them. Then I mix everything together, and this is fennel. So when it's seeds, I don't put that much because kids don't really enjoy it. And this is coriander seeds. And just a little bit of paprika. So far, this one is done. I don't know if there's any question, but for me, it's done. So as long as I just switched off the fire, as long as you have your beans already cooked and the millet already cooked, your butternut baked, you can take 5 minutes to make this recipe. As you see, just now, we are done. So we are going now to stuff it in the butternut. Just give me a moment to arrange a plate here for that. I want to put the butter. So these are my butternut, baked one, this one, yeah. I already baked them. What you do is you wash your butternut, squash, then you sprinkle with some oil and salt, and you bake in the oven 45 minutes, 40 to 45 minutes, sometimes even 1 hour, depending on how big it is, you know, how big it is, and also it depends with your oven, but when it is ready, you will know. So once they are baked, we are going to put now the increase. Focus your camera here. So all you do is to stuff the things in, but before that, you must pull the meat a bit. This side. Yeah. Okay. So now this is our mixture that we just made. We're gonna put inside. So you can use any kind of beans. Use any kind of beans and any kind of millet. They are different, not different kind, but different colors. So you can, there's white one, there's I don't know, there's also this one. So there are different color of millets. You use any one that you can afford. So the dish is very nutritious, filled with the vitamins and starch. We get starch here, and also in beans and millets, there's a lot of what we call protein. But my husband will explain later about each dish and the content as soon as we are done. So this is the dish. I believe everyone can see. So we are done with this one. If there's any question. Okay, I just want to charge my phone because Zoom takes a lot of, I'm using my phone, the kids are charging. I'm working with my kids. They're behind the camera, so you know kids are there. Sometimes they want to talk. Okay, so far we have three ingredients that we have made here. Pancake, so far I've just made one because I like to give it more attention. So since we are very busy with other things, I just made one so far. And then I will continue later. When my husband will be talking, I can continue. So I'm just checking the third recipe here. It goes to soya chunks. Allow me to check again the ingredients on WhatsApp before we go on with it. Okay, for stewed soya chunks stew. For the stew, we need 1 cup of soya chunks, 1 cup of white beans or red beans. I think I'll use red beans, which I have ready here. The white one, I didn't get time to boil it. Then 2 tablespoons of oil. We have 1 carrot chopped, 1 small green pepper chopped, 1 large onion, and full of spring onions. Yes, we have all this green pepper, paprika, coriander, garlic, fresh tomato, thyme, and salt. Okay, please. I was checking the ingredients on WhatsApp. It's charging.
Okay.
On here. You must be talking the class. Okay. So now just allow me while they are filming there to get the code for the next lesson.
Yeah, while we are waiting, I would like to talk about the dish which is already here. The stuff what?
Butternut.
Yeah, butternut. Sorry, I used to confuse butternut and pumpkin. So the stuffed butternut, you see, we have beans, we have the butternut itself. So beans is rich in protein, and you know, when the added millets gives us the amino acid that the beans is lacking. So that beans, we mix them with some other grains. So we adding the protein that so that we have a full, all the full amino acids, the 20 of them that our body need, both the essential and the non-essential ones. When it's the same with the stuff. It's the same with the scrambled tofu here in the bread. Tofu itself is also, it's a product of soya that is also rich in protein. Mixing it with whole wheat homemade bread, it also does the same as I spoke about the beans and the millet into the pumpkin. So it gives us all the nutrients that we need, especially the protein. Especially when you are taking your proteins are best to be taken in the morning. Your breakfast, for your breakfast, if you take lunch and for lunch, but we avoid them as much as possible, especially hard proteins such as beans, because beans they take long to digest. So food that take long to digest, they are best to be eaten in the morning. So when they are very well cooked and well prepared, so you get as much as possible in the food that you are about that you are about to eat. So we in the pancake. Sorry, in the pancake, as you heard, we have oatmeals inside. Oats are very good. As much as they are rich in protein, they are also rich in fiber. They have plenty of fiber. You know, fiber is very good because one thing I'll tell you that fiber helps to curb or to reduce to curb the, what did I say, or to reduce the absorption or to slow. That's why it helps us when the absorption of glucose is slow, so it doesn't affect our blood sugar in the blood. So when you eat your seeds, make sure that they are whole seeds. When I'm talking about whole seeds, it means a grain that has its fiber and its germ. So in the oats also, you need to find the oats that is whole, in order for you to have the enough fiber that you need. You know, even with the pumpkin, you see, when you look at the pumpkin, when you look at the butternut, sorry, as I say, excuse me. And when you look at our butternuts were baked with their skin. Why is this? You know, skin first, we know that is rich in fiber. And like also potatoes, when you don't peel them, bake them as they are with their skin. And then as you remove the skin, you will see that the skin will it's just a small side of the skin that will be peeled off. You see, like here, you see very thin layer here, which means that immediately under the skin, it's where we have all the source of all the nutrients that are needed in the butternut, or in the potato, or Irish potato or sweet potato. But when we remove the skin before we cook them. So we actually remove that layer of nutrients. We only remain with mostly starch. So that is why it's best to cook your potatoes or your butternut or pumpkin, whatever, with its skin. So you can even eat the skin. It's very good fiber rich. Because fiber is very good. Not only that to avoid constipation, but also fiber is good because they are eaten. They are food for our bacteria in the stomach. The intestinal flora is full of bacteria there. They eat on fiber. They actually, when they eat on fiber, they give us a certain chemical that helps we help our arteries to be able to be elastic, and also they are good for the heart. The same chemical. So that is why make sure that you have fibers in whatever that you eat. It's good for your heart and good for your digestion. Again, for the oat soothes the digestive system. So that is, I think, for me now. So I'll speak again for the remaining recipes.
Okay, so we are making now stewed soya chunks. This is my pot. I'd like to add the onions, green peppers. I haven't put it on the stove, and I haven't put it on I haven't put oil. I'm just adding this thing just to show you that there's no need for you to fry. Like most time you see people will first fry the vegetable, the onions and tomatoes. They fry before they can add any food they are cooking. So this is carrots that I'm making. The only thing I like to add at the end is it's the spices. I love to add them at the end. So now I'm going to switch on the stove again. Thank you. Now I'm adding oil into this. Usually I add about one, mostly if you have checked well, 1 tablespoon of oil to this. If you want to add more, maybe half or another tablespoon, but not too much oil. And people think, of course, oil gives the food that nice flavor, but you can also survive without too much oil. This is tomato paste. It is one of the ingredients which was not in the list. So this one, I did it purposely to show you that you really don't have to rely on the ingredients as it is written. You see, so if you have your tomato paste or tomato sauce, you can also add them to your food, to a recipe when you are given a recipe. Because if you rely on the ingredients, you can be disappointed or discouraged sometimes when you do things. You say, oh, I don't have everything. I'm going to the store. I don't have everything. Therefore, I cannot make this recipe, because I get people like that to say, I cannot make it because I don't have tomato paste, or I don't have this. No, you can still make, and actually you can focus here. And I was saying, actually, you can even develop the recipe yourself by adding things that was not in the ingredients. As I was saying, even with the pancake, you can add more. You can add more ingredients. I use only 3 ingredients, but if you have peanut butter, you can add. If you have some seeds, you can add. But with the ingredients, I love to keep them simple, because not everyone can means. If I have some means to put everything in one recipe, everyone might not have it. So to allow everyone to be able to cook a simple food from simple ingredients and which tastes nice, I love to come up with this simple recipe, whereby if you check in most of my recipes, you find some of the things I put them optional. Optional means that you can, if you have it, you can use it. If you don't have it, it's also fine. So I'm adding fresh tomatoes, about 2 tomatoes that I chopped here. The stew must have a ton of tomatoes. I love tomatoes in the stew. And just look at that color. It looks very nice and appealing, you know. When you cook food, it must appeal to you. You can't wait to taste it, you can't wait to eat it. So now this was the ingredients I was talking about. The one I made, I prepared purposely just to show you that you can also add another ingredient that was not in the ingredient list, just for you to enjoy your food. And if you don't have, let's say for example, if you don't have green peppers, you don't have to be discouraged to say, no, I'm not going to make, because the recipe asks for green pepper. I don't have carrot. Use what you have. That's one of the things that I can say. You use what you have. Yes, so I'm adding this tomato paste. So we're going to allow it to cook a bit. I don't want to stay with this one paste, because it's going to start sticking. I want the fresh tomato to be soft. I think this is the 4th recipe. The 5th one is cabbage salad, just a salad for supper, and then the other one is just vegan mayonnaise. So now I'm adding the beans. You can add, as I say, you can add any kind of beans you have. here we are making a stew, so we will need water here. Now I'm going to add about 2 cups of water for now. So that we can, I want to add water and allow it to cook. Meanwhile, we can make the salad. That's 1 cup. And that's the second one. And I'm going to put salt also. About a teaspoon of salt. Because here there's a lot of liquid. So yeah, I didn't put all yet. I will test. If it's needed to put more, I will put those. So that's how you can also do with salt to avoid putting too much salt. So far, I haven't added soya chunks. We will add them later. For now, we're going to cook. The beans are already cooked, so but I just want it to cook again together with the spices. When the water reduces, then we are going to put the soya chunk. Okay. Okay, so we are almost done. Meanwhile, my husband can talk again. Yeah, I have the blender here. We can make the marinade. We can marinate.
So like I was saying before, it's very important to eat your protein for breakfast. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I want to tell you as a family, I know, if not all of you, but most of you are women that are in the class right now. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You know, if you want to curb your weight, that means you want to maintain a healthy weight. You have to make it a principle. Never miss or postpone your breakfast. Best before 10 you have eaten your breakfast. If you eat twice a day, it's good. It's fine to take your breakfast at 9, but don't eat after 10. Because you know, breakfast also prevents, it actually also reduces the risk of having a heart attack. Yes, it does that. So researchers have determined that most heart attack happens in the late hours of the morning, between 10 and 11 or 12. So when people that take their breakfast before that time, they have a lower risk of suffering from heart attack. So because breakfast, we talk about, just the name itself tells us you're breaking your fast. How can you break your fast at 1? You've been sleeping, not eating for 7 to 8 hours. So in the morning is good time to eat. You can, why sometimes we fail to eat breakfast or we don't have appetite for breakfast? Usually mainly is because we have eaten too much in the evening. When you've eaten too much in the evening, your stomach is bloated because of poor digestion, because you can't expect your food to be well digested when you eat and you go sleep. When you eat and you go sleep, so you cannot expect good digestion. So you need to eat very little in the evening. Actually, you can even skip supper. You don't have it's not a must that you can eat supper. So you can skip supper, is all right. But breakfast, you must make sure that you eat breakfast. Thank you. I'm sure my wife will continue.
Yes, we are making we are making cabbage salad. So I just put some fresh tomatoes there. And as my husband was saying, it's better you skip your supper. If you come back home tired and you look at your time and it's too late, You can skip it, or you can take something just like a juice or like a salad, like we are making cabbage salad now. Then you have it for your supper, something light that you can enjoy in the evening. Then you wake up. You will wake when you skip your breakfast. You will your supper when it is too late. You will wake up with good appetite for eating enough for breakfast. So you can make your cabbage salad in the evening and eat or lettuce, any kind of salad, or even eat some fruits. Now the other thing is it's important to always have some fresh food, some salad in your food as you are eating. No, don't always eat cooked meals all the time. I'd like to add some few seeds of coriander in my cabbage salad, even though the kids don't love this, but I like it. It tastes nice in the salad. And then I want to add some olives. And when it comes to salad again, you can play around with it, what you have in the house, and make simple salad you eat in the evening, or you eat together with your meals. At least you know you have something raw that you are eating. Then we're going to add cucumbers to the salad. Those are pieces of cucumber that we are adding in our cabbage salad. Yes, so we mix. Now we are almost done. This is we are making one recipe just to blend the vegan marinade. Then we are done for the cooking today. With the olive oil, then we add about a tablespoon of olive oil. And salt. Okay, mixing the salad. This is a very simple salad of the cabbage. And I'd like to tell you, I personally in my life don't like complicated things in my life. I don't like complicated things. So I love to keep my life very simple. Even when I cook, I love to keep it simple. That's why if you check, most of my recipes are simple. Here I'm just adding some leaves of fresh leaves for celery. Then here we are done with our cabbage salad. If you add an avocado, you can add this. Some seeds you can add. As I was saying again, that you can add what I didn't add on the recipe. Like we have here, if you have some seeds, you can have. Like I do have some sunflower seeds here, which of course I'm going to add it also just to make it more nutritious. So we are done with that one. So we're gonna make the marinade. Okay, so we're going to blend the vegan mayonnaise, just made of soy milk. Here it is, and here's a blender. Soy milk. I'm using 2 boiled potatoes. You boil your potatoes, then you remove the skin. Boil it to the skin, then you remove it later. 2 potatoes. Then 1 cup of soya milk. Yeah, for this one, you really need soya milk. This one here, you must always check in the ingredients, the main ingredients. For this one, you need soya milk, not water. It won't taste well with water. So I'm not going to add it all straight away. I'm going to add a bit and blend first. Then we'll see if it's gonna be thick. Then I'm adding salt, about half a teaspoon of salt. Then fresh garlic. Fresh garlic always gives the mayonnaise that nice flavor, but don't put too much. Now I'm adding about 3 small cloves of garlic. Then I'm going to add olive oil, also 1 tablespoon. Olive oil. Just some cumin seed, just very little. Okay. So now we're going to go blend it. Just wait. Okay, so now we are going to blend it. You can come this side. Meanwhile, our stew is cooking. Yeah. We are almost done here. Now you can see, as you can see, my stew, the sauce. This really is, the sauce looks very it's runny, it's water like, it's not thick. So now the sauce is not thick. So to thicken my sauce, I'm going to put one teaspoon. Here I have 1 teaspoon of cornstarch or maizena. So I'm going to mix it with some water. I'm sure many of the ladies know this. I mix it actually with some soy milk. You can also use water. You mix. This is going to help. You can use flour or even chickpea flour. You mix it with water very well. Then you add to your stew. You thicken the sauce. Yeah, as you can see, there's a great change. There's a great change. Then I'm going to add spring onions. Okay, first I'm going to add soya beans. This is our soy chunks. So I soaked it in water. So what you do is you squeeze the water out. Then you put soy chunks usually absorb the liquid too much. So you must squeeze the water you soaked it on so that it can now absorb the sauce, the liquid from the stew, which is nice and well cooked and spiced and like water. Otherwise, this one, if you are not careful, you will cook it and it's not tasting so nice. Okay. Some green pepper to this, some garlic. I have a lot of green peppers here, so I want to add many of it because I'm almost done cooking. I also have some celery, which is the then you can add it also to add more green color to this. Like in the rest, the spring onion, you can add your celery, you can add your spring onion. These all things brings out a nice flavor. And I'm adding one more teaspoon of tomato paste because I want my sauce to be red, not too red, but I like my stew to have a lot of tomatoes. I always tell people when you cook, don't put one small tomato and then you say cook. No, put a lot of tomatoes, put a lot of onions. You see people who cook meat when they are cooking, they put a lot of tomato, onions in the meat. When now they are cooking vegetables, you know, they just cook it like that, very fast, as you can see. As you can see. So I'll just give it some few minutes, just 2 minutes. Just cover and cook for a few more minutes. Yeah, we are almost done. Let's blend. Let's press it. Where's the? Okay. Okay, so now we want to blend our vegan mayonnaise. As I was telling you, I just moved in a new house and my things are still ups and downs. So yeah, I'm gonna blend. Here it is. Okay, go that side. Attendez. This is the vegan mayonnaise. Yes. So you can add here. I can put it here on top of my stuffed butternut. And that's it. Okay, we can now check the. Come here, we check our stew. Done. Just want to put some some spices, some seeds, fennel seeds, cumin, and some coriander. I always have this in my house. Some paprika. I always have this in my house. These natural spices. Now I switch off my stove. So this can be served with rice, with pap, anything that your heart desires. You serve it with this. So I think just need to add it. Okay, so we are done here. I'm just adding some more salt. Okay. Okay, now we are done. That was our last dish. If there's any question, because I need to charge my phone for the next class, for the cooking class, for the natural hair class. So if there's anyone with any question, you are free to ask so we can close. Okay. Seems like there's no question. There are some written tips that I wrote about cooking. So we are going to put it on a document, and then we are going to share it with you with all the today's recipes. We are going to put it on a document and share with you. So this is a nice dish that you can enjoy for breakfast or lunch or early supper. Okay, so here we are with all our today's dishes. Here we made soya chunks. Stew with beans, and then we served it with rice, brown rice, as you can see, and some cabbage salad. Here we have scrambled tofu and avocado toast. Unfortunately, I didn't get avocado here, so I've used the fresh tomatoes and some cucumbers. Here we have stuffed butternut squash, which we baked first until soft. Then we stuffed it with the red beans already cooked and some millets, and then some tomatoes and onions inside. This is the pancake. This one, which I'm going to make more, but this is the one we made so far, just for me to show you. So I'm going to continue after the class, because it's 3 now. Our class has taken a little bit more time, since also we started late, and this is cabbage salad. And our vegan mayonnaise that we add just from blending, boiled potato with soy milk and salt. We added some seeds here. And then to just, if you want to develop it more, you can feel free to do that. But I like to end here just with, I just blend my potato with fresh garlic. It gives a difference, and olive oil. So if there's no question, we can close. I don't know if there's any question.
No questions. Everything was clear. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Yes, hello, I'm listening.
Yes, my question is with the oil. Sometimes you hear people
Yes.
saying we should not cook olive oil. Is it true? Is it? Yeah, they say you must add it after you have finished cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So why is it like that?
Okay. There's a question here about olive oil. Some people say you should not cook olive oil. You see, we must add it at the end. So why is it like that?
Yeah, oil is it depends how you cook it. Because if when you end it at the end, you're still cooking it, so long as you get the heat. But the good thing about olive oil is that the boiling point of olive oil is high. Actually, according according to most cook, is actually the other normal oils that we use, their boiling point is low compared to olive oil. So that's not to encourage you to fry olive oil. But as I mentioned earlier, the best way of using oil when you use it in combination with steaming, or that we call the combination, we call it saute. There's another name for it, is saute. Steamer or steam with the oil. It's meaning that with the same, you see, I give example, like when you saw Lucas trying to when she was sauteing ingredients like the tomatoes and the onions.
Yes.
So with that oil, so you do that very quickly, because in order to allow the liquid, the water to dry, then the oil starts heating up. But as I've said, beside that, we need, it's best to add it at the end. But when you start with it, use it in combination with steaming or simmering. So that is what I can. But when I'm saying that, of course, with the people that fry, that cook, the olive oil, they use it as a best oil for frying because of the higher heating point, not boiling, heating point, meaning that where the oil reaches the temperature in which the oil changes into trans fat. So with olive oil, it takes higher than the normal oil in order for it to change. But otherwise, best you add it at the end, or you use it in combination with the simmering and steaming, that we call saute. I don't know if it's clear.
Yeah, thank you.
You are welcome.
Okay. I don't know if there's any other question. I wish to close the class. Yes.
So that the oatmeal pancake, what are you going to eat it with?
Oh, they're for breakfast. You can then serve it with more fruits. You serve it with fruits, yes. Or you can also make a yogurt, homemade yogurt that you just blend a banana with some soy milk, then you pour on top, with maybe some honey, you pour on top there, you enjoy with the with fruits. It is very heavy. It's filling on for money. You know, oatmeal is very, very heavy when you eat them for breakfast. So if you make 2-3 pancakes for one person with some 2-3 different fruits, one eat and they are full.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
so are you going to, after that oatmeal, does it take the place of porridge? Because
Yes.
we like to take porridge. Does it take the place of porridge?
Yeah, you can take a place of porridge in this way of that you
Okay.
don't have to eat something every day cooked in the same
Yes.
way. You can still use
Okay.
the same ingredients, but cook it in a different way. If you can see, the combination was just of oatmeal and milk, which we do with the porridge. And then we added bananas, which you can also do with porridge, because you can slice bananas and put on top of your porridge. You can add peanut butter. So it's almost like same ingredient, but this one now, this time you blend and you make pancake. You still enjoy the same thing, but cooked in a different way.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, so that's the idea.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Okay, so I will close the class now to allow my phone to charge for a while. If there's any of you are sending me messages, if I don't answer on time, I'll be charging my phone for the next class, which is starting in like 1.5 hours. So I'd like to thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for trusting us with your money even before we shared the information with you. So we wish to have you again next time, next month, if it's possible. As for today, we are done. We are going to send you the document with these recipes inside and some more tips on cooking and health, which will be just for you in a document form. Yes. Can I ask Sister Regina to pray for us if she's around? I can see her here. Sister Regina, can you hear me? Can you please, can you pray for us in closing? Okay, Sister Lindy, can you pray for us, Sister Lindy?
Okay, let us pray. You know what? I have a challenge praying in English, you know. I pray
No
comfortably.
problem. No problem. Feel free.
Okay.
Okay.
Let us close our eyes.
Thank you.
And our Heavenly Father who art in heaven, we come to before your throne of grace at this time, at the end of our lesson, which was very fruitful and interesting, which aims to help to eat healthy so as to live a healthy life. Siyakubulela Thixo wethu ngenqubo engakusenzele yona msindisweni akwabeke yehova Nkosi ungenza ukubana zonke ezi lessons esizifunda apha msindi omhle, we can be, all of us be able to use them with our families so that at the end we can bring up families that are healthy. Sikelela abantwana bakho, bless them in a very special way, Father God. The Docker's Kitchen family that has come up with this idea of doing cooking classes. Bless them richly, Father God, and bless each and every one of us until we meet again. In Jesus' name,
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for your prayers. Thank you. May God bless you. And may He give you wisdom in the kitchen to develop more of these recipes and to keep your family in health. I wish we had more time to talk, because I wanted to say, you know, the kitchen is like a pharmacy where you cook life and death. They are cooked in the kitchen. And if you look well today, most women make a lot of mistakes in the kitchen. They put their families in danger by wrong way of cooking, which destroys all the vitamins in the food, which damages health, like for more frying. Like here, I see people putting a lot of oil in the food, a lot of spices on the oil, and all these kind of things. And when you tell them, when they see, I've cooked many things here, I just used that, but I didn't use much oil. If they see that, they say, why are you feeling sorry for your husband? You should use more oil, you know. So I just want to encourage you to take your time in the kitchen, cook well, simple and healthy and delicious food. May God bless you all. If ever you have a question, we are in the group. Feel free to ask or to send me a message. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.